go ahead and let us know in the chat that you've got a question for Bill, and we'll go ahead and get started with Jeff Ferrato.
Hey, good morning, Bill. How you doing?
Good. Hi, Jeff.
You, since we last talked to you, Devin Modster moved on, and so I imagine one of your chores in the offseason is to try to figure out who your backup quarterback is. And I wonder if I could ask you to go through the four potential candidates and just talk about each of them a little bit. Starting with Spencer Brash, tell us what you see in him, what you like about him.
Yeah, all four guys are fun to be around. Spencer's got a real live arm, got some length to him. He's got probably the most height of the four candidates, and has really done a nice job, thus far, just in limited exposure to getting any reps within the new offensive system. Both Jaden Casey and Zach Johnson are new as of last year. Of course, Jaden was a mid-year, and Zach got here in the summer. So those guys are working hard at it too. They're both real accurate, got quick releases, and they're good athletes. And then Robbie Rao from Acalanes High School has done a nice job too, and had a good scrimmage, or kind of a mock game that we had last fall before we embarked on our season. So he's fun to work with as well.
How urgent is it for you to figure this out, or do you figure it's going to take through the summer really before you have a sense of who your number two would be?
Well, I think, we're looking forward to getting on the field as an entire team and practicing so we can evaluate the position, and the depth chart can shake out.
And is there anything in particular that you're looking for? When you had Monster, you knew what you had. You had an experienced guy who's played a lot. With a younger guy, a less experienced player, what do you need to see over the next few months?
Yeah, we just need to see them operate within the system, and I think that'll come with experience. It's not going to be smooth. It never is for anybody. You get better really when you stub your toe, and you learn from your mistakes more than you do your triumphs. So we need to get them in practice, in the drills, in the scrimmages, in the sessions, so experience can be accumulated.
Is it pretty wide open at this point?
Oh, most definitely.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Trace Travers with Rivals.
Yeah, I want to continue on that front. And Coach Wilcox said that Kai Milner will have an opportunity when he gets here in the summer. Can you talk us through his skill set and what he brings to the table?
Yeah, Kai will be a great addition to the quarterback room. He had a great high school career there at Higley, both running and passing, leading his team. Higley jumped up from 5A to 6A last fall, so they played a much tougher schedule, and it was fun to watch Kai and his team work their way through that 6A schedule down there in AZ. So you're right. He'll be here this summer, and then he'll be part of the equation as well.
Gotcha. And on your offense, you've said in the past that you want to use a fullback because it makes you guys more difficult to defend. Both of your fullbacks have entered the transfer portal at this point, and I want to know, are you guys going to use more of an H-back with the tight end, or are you going to look for another fullback or convert a guy? What's the plan at this point?
Yeah, but I think you're right. We've got some tight ends that have some H-back qualities that can do some fullback jobs. So they'll be asked to do some fullback jobs when we want to employ those concepts. And then we're always on the lookout for other fullback candidates, both already on campus and not yet to arrive.
Is Reinwald a fit at that H-back fullback type?
He is. He's a little bit more stocky than a long 6'5", 6'6" tight end, but he would definitely be a strong candidate to do some fullback jobs coming out of the backfield.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to David Bush from Bear Insider.
Yeah, Coach, going into last year, the offensive line was the most experienced in of a unit in the group. How did you feel that they perform? I know it's four games is a small sample size, but you think they lived up to their reputation? Was there a little disappointment, or did they perform okay?
No, you're right. Small sample size, David. Really not 4 games, 2 games.
Okay.
Right? Didn't we lose them Friday before we went up to Corvallis?
Oh, that's right. Okay. Anyway.
So those guys, yeah, we got a small sample size. Really like that group. Love the group. The O-line is the engine to our engine to our offense. They make us go. So they provide the juice, and especially at the center, Mike Safell, Pac-12 Scholastic Player of the Year. We're just thankful that he's coming back so we can be around him for one more season, and the O-line will continue to work and gel. And as you said, they're judged and they're evaluated as a group, not individually. And boy, I thought the group did a super job. Those guys that got notified that they were going to play against the Beavers, 26 hours before kickoff on a Friday when we lost starting guard, starting tackle, starting tight end, they jumped in there and really did a super job, both against Oregon State and also in the big game.
Okay, thanks.
But
Okay, we'll go to Jim McGill from Bear Insider.
Hey, Coach. A lot of times freshmen don't have a big impact right away, but you're bringing in some guys on offense that seem like on paper they have the potential to really add some variety to the offense. Can you talk a little bit about how guys like Jermaine and Jim Michael and Maven might impact the offensive side?
yeah, I think those guys have been well trained in high school. You can tell by their fundamentals, their technique, their maturity that I think they're going to be ready to contribute a little bit like Damian Moore was ready to contribute last fall as a true freshman. So in the O-line department, I'd say Bastian Swinney seems ready to contribute. So he'll be in the mix and be battling for playing time as well. But you're right, whether tight end or wide receiver, we talked about Kai Milner battling for time. It's a real impressive class of 2021.
Okay, Jim, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go back to Trace Travers from Rivals.
Yeah, you kind of said it there with Bastian, but the right tackle position with Jake leaving for the NFL is it seems pretty wide open. Is that the case so far? Because you have Mello who played there last year, but you have a lot of different guys who could fill that role.
No, we do. And we've got a number of guys that we've already talked to about they're going to have a chance to crack the starting lineup there at that right tackle spot. And it's going to be exciting. We've got guys with different experiences, whether they're going to move from inside, from guard to outside, or we may even flip, some guys that have been playing at left over there to right. Brandon Mello did a super job at right, but even in practice, we're very comfortable with him playing some left. So, those guys are going to be fun to work with, and we're going to find the best combination, and then also to give guys a chance to get in there and, play at certain times. So it's exciting right there with the right tackle, that's for sure, with Jake headed to the NFL.
Yeah. And you touched on it a little with talking about Jermaine Terry, but how much does getting a guy like that who has kind of a ready-made frame for the tight end position in this early as a true freshman?
No, he does. He's 260 some pounds and can move. So we're excited about working with him this spring. It's very exciting that he's already enrolled in school, being a mid-year entry, and he's going to jump right in and hit the ground running.
Thank you.
Okay, it looks like Jeff Ferrato has another question. Go ahead, Jeff. There you go. I think you're off mute now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we got you.
Yeah, it said my internet connection was unstable there. So I'm wondering, Bill, what sort of things do you want Chase to work on in the off season? What's his attention on in terms of his further development?
Well, we're going to work on a bunch of things that we have made a list of from those 4 games from last fall. I think he'll get more comfortable the more reps and more turns he gets at our concepts. And we're going to, of course, expand the offense. We were thankful to be able to line up and break the huddle and get some things done last fall. But, we'll take the training wheels off and get really working on our offense when we have more time on task, hopefully this spring and this summer. And it should be exciting for Chase and the whole offense. I know Chase will blossom and both, throwing the ball, getting us in the right runs when we're at the line of scrimmage and he's in charge of our run game. And then, of course, using his legs which are a great weapon for us because he really can move.
How frustrating was it for both you and him that you had to sort of, as you said, keep those training wheels on the offense? You only had 4 games. You had all sorts of weird circumstances. Have we not seen either what he can do or even what the offense is capable of doing?
Well, the one thing we didn't want to do last fall is to make it too complicated or too exotic where our guys would play hesitantly. And I think our guys did play real aggressive. Did the best. Did we put them in the best absolute position for them to be successful? I would say no, but we will in the future. But we wanted to make sure that they knew what to do and had enough turns where they could do it confidently. So we'll balance that going forward. But I thought our guys really battled. And of course, we wouldn't trade those experiences for the world. There's no excuses to be made. We did our very best, put our best foot forward, and really proud of the guys for their effort, their determination, their discipline, and their resilience, of course, like we've talked about, in a really tough situation.
How ready is Chase to bite off more, do you think?
He's so sharp, and really enjoy being around him in the meetings. One thing that I learned about Chase, I learned something every single day in this job, but every practice, every session, every meeting, every trip, every game, every halftime adjustment, Chase is the same fella. He's very consistent. He's eager to learn. He has great questions. He's just the same guy every day. He's not going to get too giddy when we do things that are really well done, and he's not going to get in the dumps, when we have tough times or we stub our toe or things don't go our way. I love the way that he keeps an even keel, and he's the same fellow with his work ethic day in and day out.
How important is that, for a quarterback?
Well, it's good for everybody, but especially for the quarterback, as you know, because everybody on the team looks to the quarterback daily for him to set the climate. Is he into it? Is he moody? Is he on top of his game? Because if he can be on top of his game daily, then the rest of the team knows, hey, we got to step it up and keep up with his pace that he's setting. So very important for all players, but especially the guy who touches the ball each and every play from the quarterback spot.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Jim McGill from Bear Insider.
Coach, do you feel like the gloves really weren't able to come off on your offense this last season with all of the disruptions that you've had, and that you have the pieces to have a fairly dynamic offense in 21?
We definitely have the pieces. We really have a super staff, and we've got outstanding players. So, yeah, we're looking forward to getting back out on the field as fast as we can. We did our very best. We're definitely, foot on the gas pedal last fall, just without a lot of time on task. Like we talked about before, we wanted to make sure that our guys knew what to do, even if it wasn't, necessarily on the cutting edge or the most exotic of concepts that we're trying to present to the defense.
Thanks.
Okay, does anybody have a final question for Bill? I'll give you another 5 seconds here. Okay, seeing none, Bill, we'll see you as we get closer to spring ball.
That would be great. Thanks, man.